You are addicted to your phone. Now, this isn't anything new. I'm addicted to my phone. You're addicted to your phone. Maybe this is part of your doom scrolling. You found my video and you clicked on it, trying to maybe face the issue. And I think we all deep down inside this generation is aware, but not aware at the same time of the dangers that are in front of us with these devices. And I think it comes down to our habit of avoidance and our constant need to be entertained, our constant need to run away from boredom. And I genuinely think that it's become a major issue. It's become so well ingrained in everything that we do, whether we're eating, whether we're having a discussion with someone, when we're out and about, when we're waiting for the bus, when we are alone. We are constantly on our phones. And I think this is a problem that young people don't want to admit to, that they are addicted, genuinely addicted to their phone. Now, there was a study that was done by Dan Gilbert, and maybe some of you are familiar with this experiment. But the candidates were placed in a room, an empty room, and all that there was placed in front of them was a button that would give them an electric shock. And what was really interesting was that the candidates would rather endure physical pain by pressing on the button to give them some sort of stimulation than be bored. So this is where the major problem arises. What are we avoiding? And why is our brain, because our brain runs our decisions massively, why is our brain seeking constant stimulation or constant dopamine and avoiding boredom? Now, the studies show that when you're bored, a part of your brain called a default mode network gets activated. And this part is responsible for the existential, for the bigger, meaningful, purposeful questions or thoughts that cross our minds about our lives, about who we are. And it's a massive part of us feeling a sense of meaning within our lives and also tapping into the power of introspection. And by constantly engaging with distractions, our phones, social media, entertainment, we are running away, or we're not activating this part of our brain and fundamentally avoiding deep, meaningful questions, which are actually resulting in the highest rates of depression, anxiety, and stress. We all know that when we have something that's really bothering us in our minds, us numbing ourselves with social media doesn't actually ever sort out what the problem is, or doesn't enable us to actually process that emotion. And I think what we need to develop is the skill of being bored. The skill of being bored is an art. And I discussed this in my previous video, whereas this video is more so focused on why we are running away from boredom. In that video, I was discussing why we should face boredom. Specifically, just the why. Just specifically addressing the why, not so the issues with social media. And that's why this video is kind of like a sequel, but kind of like important. So if you watch this video, make sure you watched that video, The Art of Enjoying the Mundane. It's really powerful. I'll try to link it down below. But that feeling of emptiness that you feel is fundamentally coming from you not being able to sit with yourself or with your own thoughts, or just being bored. Practicing the skill of being bored can strengthen our relationships, can strengthen our ability to enjoy more mundane, more boring experiences or actions or responsibilities that we've got to do, like cleaning your room, which can be massively boring. By putting down our phones and gaining back control, we're able to face and answer these bigger existential questions, giving us a better sense of direction and meaning and overall happiness in our lives. I don't know when this happened, but there was a massive shift between mindful consumption to mindless consumption. And that's the scary part, is that we are not aware of what we're consuming and why we're consuming it. We're just consuming it for the sake of entertaining ourselves and consuming for the sake of consuming, which is kind of a scary thought. To say that we scroll for hours, and if I was to ask you, what did you learn or what did you pick up, or what was the videos, all the videos that you watched, do you remember what you actually consumed? What did you actually learn from it? What was the purpose behind you watching those reels or behind you watching those shorts? You will not be able to answer that question, and that should really, really scare you. I'm going to make a separate video on why I think shorts and reels are like the demonic hook that social media companies are trying to hit us with, or reel us in, to the same addiction that puts money in their pocket. Now, I'm not only here to vent about this issue, and I want to provide some practical steps or things that you could do to counteract this. I think it really comes down to how we use our devices and our phones. But here's some ground rules that you could possibly follow to really shift your mind and benefit from it massively just by doing it. Number one, no phone in the first hour in the morning or the first hour before bed. That will enable you to really get started in your day. Have a healthy contact with yourself and your thoughts before the world is attempting to overwhelm you. The second rule, no phone while eating or spending time with family. I think that's a really, really important one. I've been in social gatherings when people are spending more time on their phones than having conversations, and that's really, really scary. And I made the shift around 5 years ago when I was around 18 or 17 to switch off my phone and not use my phone or even take pictures. You know how people like take pictures when they go out, they do videos. I barely do that. And I would rather live in the present moment than live in an alternative fake reality. And so I have a major rule that I've been following for years, and it's made me into a different person. And people can sense my energy is completely different from other people. Where their attention is divided, my attention is present and valuable and purposeful and mindful. So I always had my phone in my pocket when, I'm out and about and having discussions. And that's made my life so much better. And I'm so happy I made that decision. And I had that awareness to do that at a young age, whereas many people struggle with that nowadays. Number four, and this is a very powerful one. You could do this for 15 minutes, 30 minutes, an hour. Just take time where you take a break from social media, like purposefully. And you can call it a dopamine detox, a social media cleanse, whatever you want to call it. But take in hours to minutes, stop with minutes if it's a big struggle with you. I've gone days, weeks without really being on my phone and only using it for important contacts like texting my parents or, I need to like pay the bills, so I need to use my bank. That's the only reason I would be using my phone during those periods where I've dedicated to take a break from social media. And I really think our approach to using social media needs to be questioned, and we need to be educated on this in school, every day reminded that this is not a friend and this can be our biggest enemy. And just the art of being bored. The greatest philosophers, the greatest writers spend a lot of time just being bored. They weren't always this creative machine. That boredom actually enables space to be creative, to be curious about the world that's in front of us. Anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Subscribe to the channel. My name is Arquez, and again, here's another banger for you guys. Anyways, subscribe and like, and I'll see you guys in the next video.